today we're making salt-crusted sea bass, an incredible way to prepare whitefish to let its natural flavors shine. The preparation itself also brings a wonderful sense of occasion that you could bring the whole salt crust to the middle of the dining table, making this a perfect family meal. And today I want to show you how you could make the cleaning of the fish much easier and elevate the flavors at the same time by using some sushi nori. These are basically pressed sheets of seaweed that you often see at a sushi restaurant. They are full of glutamic acid, nature's MSG, that would bring the natural taste of the fish to the next level. Now, for salt crust, because of how the heat penetrates, the sizing of the fish actually matters. You don't want something too big or small because it will be very difficult for the heat to penetrate and cook everything evenly. So in the most ideal world, you want something that's 1.2 kilos. If you need to serve more, buy 2 of those. This way you could ensure perfect end-to-end doneness and extremely moist flesh all round. Now, to prepare the fish, first we wrap it with nori. And having witnessed a few Japanese sushi chefs preparing their fish for sashimi, I saw this incredible wrapping technique that they would stuff the inside with kitchen towel before wrapping so that the fish maintains its wonderful shape, and we'll do exactly the same today. Of course, for a different flavor profile, herbs, citrus work extremely well. Aromatic vegetables, on the other hand, don't do so well just because you want to bring the fish no higher than 61, 62 degrees Celsius, and at that temperature, most vegetables don't really cook. But today we stick to the nori flavors. Now we have the perfect shape, and we start to wrap. First belly side, most important. If you're buying fish from the fishmonger, by the way, ask them to clean the fish, but don't remove the scales. This, along with the nori, will protect the fish from excessive salt, ensuring perfect seasoning. We're going to trim off a bit of the tail, just to fit the oven. Whatever shape you like. Now, the salt crust. Like I said many times on this channel on other salt crusted recipes, whether you want to bind it with water or egg white makes no difference flavor-wise. It however changes the color of the crust. So if presentation matters to you and you want something golden brown, go ahead, add some egg white. But today we keep it simple, so we simply add just enough water to get to the sandcastle texture. If it's good enough to build a tower, it's good enough for the salt crust. So, grab our oven tray and please make sure you line it with a few layers of parchment paper. I might not be an expert on many subject matters I talk about on the channel, but scraping salt, I've had many experiences, and parchment paper helps. Eyeball the shape, something like this, and we form the bed. Always add a bit of water. When making a salt crust, it's very important that you buy a ton of salt. Not literally a ton, but a lot of salt. The worst thing you want is halfway through cooking, you realize you're running out and you start to become stingy on certain sides and they start falling off. If you're committed to a dish like this, just buy more salt. At the end of the day, the oven will cook the fish. So if there happens to be an accidental hole, it's okay. Don't stress over it. Enjoy the process, enjoy the cooking. Cover the hole if you want. Sea bass goes here. Oh, it's perfect. The beauty of the nori is that through steam, it's going to stick to the scale and the skin. So when you remove the nori, you reveal the flesh right away, and it'll have just enough time to impart its umami. You'll actually not really taste the nori, but it will just make the dish taste better. By the way, if this is your first time cooking it and you have an oven probe, add the probe and put the salt crust around the probe. It'll be okay. Not much steam would escape. The worst thing you want to have is undercooked salt crusted fish, because then you would have to put it back without the crust. Then you might as well just roast it. Perfect. Now, this beauty goes into a preheated oven, middle shelf, 200 degrees Celsius fan for 25 minutes. Alright, after 25 minutes in the oven and about a 10-minute rest, this is what we have. It is extremely important when you're cooking something in a salt crust to let it rest, ideally around half of the cooking time, so that A, the temperature of the whole thing has time to even out. Because remember, we're cooking from outside in. So the surface of the salt will be extremely hot, while the flesh that's close to the bone will still be on the lower temperature side. So you want to even out the cooking. And secondly, you want the protein fibers of the fish to have time to relax, thus helping the fish remain juicy. Simply cut around till you feel the nori. And that's the beauty of the nori. It protects the fish, even from the knife. Carefully lift. Look at the moisture it has retained. It's beautiful. Now, to show you how the nori makes cleaning easier, all you have to do is to insert the fork and you break the skin and the nori together. Now you grab the skin from the tail, take your fork, everything, nori, skin, scale, comes off beautifully. Look at how moist this is. The beautiful natural fish fat from under the skin has rendered out, creating this beautiful shine, this beautiful protective layer for the flesh. And that is salt crusted, nori wrapped wild sea bass.